Here we have an Asus laptop that came in for no power. I never worked on an Asus laptop before. Asus laptop, really? They go bad? No way. No way. Well, I got one right here. We already took out the motherboard and we're gonna inspect to see why the board is not powering on. A lot of viewers ask, do you only work on Asus laptops and nothing else? We work on what gets into our shop. We do not pick and choose. I pick a device at random and I fix it on camera. So picking a device at random, if it turns out to be an Asus laptop, that's what I fix. Stuff gets put on my bench, whether it's expedited or not expedited, and I pick from the bench and I record. So what do you know? We have an Asus laptop. The board is not powering on. So we're gonna start with the DC jack that you see right here. And right next to it, we see MOSFETs. I'm gonna go over those MOSFETs and see if we have a short. Meter in diode mode. And let's test at the drain of this second MOSFET here. And what do you know? We have a short. What do we do when we have a short circuit? We inject voltage and then we monitor the board under a thermal camera and see what gets hot. And then we'll take it from there. So right now I have my ground probe connected to the screw hole here. And we're gonna inject, let's say 1.2 volts. I have my voltage injection tool at 1.27, which is fine. And let's switch over to the thermal camera and see what happens. Let's see how long it will take us to fix this Asus laptop, if in fact it's fixable. So we're gonna inject voltage right here. And right now a voltage injection tool is drawing 1.1 amp. And do we see anything hot on the board? Anything at all? We do, right here. If I inject voltage, we see heat. I remove the probe, and heat is gone. One more time, inject voltage, we see heat. Remove the probe, heat is gone. Should I do it one more time? No. So what got hot? The CPU. What does that mean? Does that mean that our CPU is bad? Not yet. We're gonna measure the V-core circuit. It could be a bad MOSFET, or it could be that the MOSFET sent higher voltage to the CPU than what the CPU can handle, and it fried the CPU. But we do not know yet. One step at a time. We see a lot of MOSFETs here, V-core MOSFETs, and our CPU is right here, and our GPU is right here. And we have MOSFETs for the GPU also. But let's focus on the CPU V-core MOSFETs. We have a short. Wow. Wow. What a nice guess. No short here. No short here. No short here. I know we cannot see the pin, but I know where that pin is. And we do not have a short here. So MOSFET number one, we have a short. What's new? Let's go ahead and remove the MOSFET, replace it, and see what happens. Why don't we just remove that thermal pad and we can reuse it on the replacement MOSFET. I just put a silicone mat under the board so I do not burn the mat on my bench that's already black and brown. I need to change the mat on my bench, and I have a big roll of the ESD mat, the commercial ESD mat, expensive. But the thing is, to change the mat on the bench, I have to remove everything on the bench and reorganize, put the mat, and that's gonna take probably a full day. And I do not want to get into this right now because I do not have time. But I need to take off maybe like 2-3 days to organize everything here, change the mats, more shelves, more drawers, more compartments to organize all the tools that we have. The stuff that I do not use, maybe I should put it on the side and keep on the bench whatever I use the most. Right now I have a little bit of both, even though I have more of the tools that I use than the ones that I do not use. But I can see a few things that I almost always never use, and those should not be on the bench. But I'm waiting until I organize the bench, change the mat, and then I'll go over it. Not today, not tomorrow, not after tomorrow. When? That's a very difficult question. It's 3 o'clock and I did not have lunch yet. I did have breakfast, however. I just want to be able to fix one more device before I have lunch, and I'm hoping this will be it, so I can have my lunch while I'm smiling. C09B, a very commonly used MOSFET on Asus laptops. Right, and we're done. Now we're gonna measure and see if we still have a short. Meter in diode mode, and 0.34 voltage drop. And if we go back to our DC connector and we measure that DC MOSFET that we measured earlier that had a short, we still have a short. And the answer is no. 0.34 voltage drop. Perfect. The board is fixed. That quick? Yeah, it's fixed. Why are you jealous? It's fixed. Done. Let me give this to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back to finish the video. Hopefully it's a fix. Let's check up on Big Boss. He's almost done. And let's see what's going on. Let it power on. Yes, we do see the light. Awesome. And the fan is spinning, but we want to see something on the screen. Let's wait a few seconds. Yes, done. I told you, Big Boss is the boss of all bosses. I always mention this. Thank you. Thank you for the good news. So that's it, we're done. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.